drug abuse. Nasha Mukt Bharat, Nasha Mukt Kashmir. Let's talk about that. The committee expresses serious concern about increasing drug abuse in Kashmir, particularly among youth, and importantly says that enforcement alone isn't enough. But I don't think why there are still detentions. But okay. The report calls for preventive early intervention, de-addiction, rehabilitation, and counseling. So don't just ask how many arrests were made. Ask are few young people becoming addicted, because now government is going for preventive detention, that preventively they will detain people who they think could be under or potentially could be under drug abuse. Okay. Fifth, we talk about poverty. Yes, multidimensional poverty has fallen dramatically, but the district numbers tell another story. See, Ramban's multidimensional poverty headcount is 14.86%. Jammu's is just 0.49%. That's a massive gap. You see the difference? 14.86, 0.49%. Now, so when we say poverty has fallen, do we say poverty has fallen for Kashmir, J&K, or is it specific to one area? I think it's more specific to one certain area. Let's talk about forest rights. Sixth important thing is forest rights. The report records 46,242 claims under the Forest Rights Act. Only 6172 were approved, 6,172 claims were approved, and almost 40,000 were rejected. Now, that does not automatically mean that those rejections were wrong, but it absolutely deserves scrutiny, because 40,000 applications were rejected. And why they were rejected, it's not answered. How many were appealed, there is no answer to that. And are genuinely eligible for forest dependent communities receiving their rights intended under the law? Nobody talks about that. Let's move forward to our infrastructure and security. And the report says that enormous road and railway and tourism investments are being made, but it repeatedly comes back to landslides, floods, fragile geology, extreme weather conditions, and the need for geological monitoring, climate resilient engineering, and better disaster preparedness. So at tourist destination, the committee is still asking for vulnerability assessments, security audits, evacuation routes, and stronger emergency response systems. Now, at the border, it calls for continued investment in logistics, all-weather connectivity, communications, and surveillance. And in other words, we could call it the infrastructure is growing, but so is the need for making the infrastructure resilient, because we are witnessing drastic extreme weather conditions.